small outboards. Are they all the same? Or are some of them different, but most of them the same? I don't know. But what I can do is give you a response to the recent feedback I've got off TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook, and I think even some on YouTube, where the majority of my audience is overwhelmingly in favor of Yamaha. And the way I see it from my experiences, I just don't agree. At least not for the portable outboards, like 25 horse and below. And I'll explain to you why. I've alluded why before in other videos, but I'm gonna give you an in-depth comparison of two motors side by side. And we're gonna start them, we're gonna range through the throttle, we're gonna let you hear them side by side, one after the other and together, and you can render your own decision on whether or not you think they're cut from the same cloth. Stay tuned. Yeah, that's like the perfect motor setup. That's freaking sweet. We're here at Fallon Marine here in Lake Havasu. Special thanks to them for letting me interrupt their day because I had this fluke idea in my head when I drove past their shop to make this video. So here we are, putting both of these motors together. One's a 6-horse Yamaha, the other's a 5-horse Merc. They're within a horsepower of each other. One is obviously going to sound a little bit different than the other, but the bulk majority of how they sound I think will be very interesting, and that will be my case. I get the odd comment from my audience, nice Tohatsu, it's just fake, they're all the same, and so I don't have any irrefutable proof that that's true or not, but what I do have is these two motors together that we can do a sound comparison pretty in depth so you can just see them both side by side individually and then at the same time, and you can render your own decision on what you think is happening. Listen to the sound of this motor. Okay, you hear this, and I'm just going to give it a little bit of gas. Okay, so we killed this motor, and we're gonna run this one, and I want you to hear this motor that everybody says is far superior to anything else that's a Mercury. I want you to hear this motor, and I want you to let me know what you think. That's gonna do it. Stupid thing, go on. Look at it. It's the same thing. I swear it is.
It is.
That's hilarious. It takes the same spigot. Unleash that. Okay, get back. It's under pressure. It comes the pressure. Alright. So yeah, we'll have to just put fuel on that one. Alright. Yeah, that is cute. That's the smallest power bulb ever. Oh, the gas. That's right. There has to be an open thing over here. That's right. Here, look. On one side, it's... Where is it? I remember now. No, hold on. It's this thing. Here it is. I think it's this.
This is why the Mercury is more superior, is it's on the side where you can see it.
Okay.
Yeah, anything that sits for a couple of years is going to have stuff like that.
So we have carb issues where the gas is leaking and it's not going to start the motor. Yeah, so it's just leaking right there, huh?
Puking out the needle valve. That's the...
Oh.
That's in it.
Okay, so can you like simulate what you did earlier? Oh, that's using Quicksilver stuff on this dome. This is going to piss so many people off. Okay. Oh yeah, you pushed it out the end, huh?
Yep. We'll let it sit for a few minutes and break out all the nasties and
see if we can get it going.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, yeah, there it all comes out, huh? Is that just draining all the gas?
Yeah, that's all the cleaner that I had in there. And then we'll push fuel through on top of it.
Yeah.
See if anything.
Well, I had Startron in that fuel, but I think probably it's...
Yeah, it says I think they say 2 years on it, but still, I take that number and cut it in half because it's...
They do say 2 years.
Yeah, it's... 2 years is a long time to let gas store.
Yeah, for sure.
And them little enzymes I don't think stay alive that long.
Let's do it.
Come on.
Oh, dang! Huh, doesn't that sound a little eerily familiar? Like the same freaking motor? I'm sorry, that sounds like the same motor to me. What?
Oh yeah.
Dude, that is the same. Hear it, hear it. Hear all that, and then we're gonna cycle up a little bit. All right, I'm gonna kill it. Or kill this for a second. Now, we're gonna start the Merc up again. They siblings, but one is the ugly stepsister. So FYI, we cut the fuel off to all these a long time ago, and this thing is still running for a while. Oh, it's starting to cut out now. There it goes. I think that thing stayed on for almost 5 minutes longer than this one after we shut the fuel off on both. So you can definitely tell that this one had a throatier, like a deeper pull on it. Like you could tell it was a little bit more expressive, explosive versus this one a little bit more conservative, but the exact same piston and the whining sound, and as you accelerated, you heard that sound, like both from both of them. I mean, when you turn them on side by side, it's like you have the damn same engine on. Right, so I knew way back in the day that there was likely the same motor because I had I think a 2006 Mercury 4 horsepower, 4-stroke that I had for like my very first boats, little small boats. And I remember the whining sound, the specific sound it made, and exactly when I bought that Yamaha, I went and bought it out of Cali, out of San Bernardino County. I went down and drove all the way down there to go get it because it was like a pretty darn good deal. The guy met me in a Walmart parking lot or something. We swapped. It was a little sketch, but I was like all stoked, and I went, I got it home, I started it up. I was like, that sounds a lot like my Merc. So I mean, even then I knew that. So I thought that everybody kind of knew that. But the comments that you get from these people, I just want to put this out for general information. I don't have anything against the Yamaha. The only reason I'm honestly trading the Yamaha in for this Mercury is just, you looked at it, I did a 360 view, you saw how ugly that thing was. It's butt ugly. Like, Yamaha, without that success and all this establishment and all these years in, you couldn't find a better designer for that. It looks like an alien head, and it's just ugly. So why would I keep that motor when I can get a much better looking Merc that has the same internals? Really, from the audience, the general audience, just makes me wonder what the whole demographic is of people where my videos are promoted to. You really had a super high opinion of Yamaha, even to the point where you're like, no, they wouldn't do their outboards. All their outboards are from Japan. They don't mess with Tohatsu. There's no splicing of the engines and sharing of the engines. Just rebranding is different. So now, what do you think now? What do you think? Why do you think they sound so similar? I mean, you can just watch the comparison. You can decide for yourself what you think, but I would tell you what I think. Obviously, you know what I think. I think it's after 35 horse, you start to see the motor companies really take flight and have, the crankshaft's different, the power distribution's different, the motors are obviously different. You can tell they sound different, but the portable outboards, I think there's some sharing going on, and I indicated that when I compared the Merc 4th Gen 20 horse to the Yamaha F25. where there was very, very noticeable similarities in how they acted, where, I mean, all the way up to the Gen 3, you heard that whining sound. Where it starts to go away in the Mercs is when you start to get an EFI motor. Then you can tell that it's not really there. But you can tell that that whining sound, it's present. It's present in everything that's like carbureted. For carbureted 4-stroke Mercs, you could tell. And then where you started to see the differences in EFI, even though there were some noticeable similarities in terms of how they start, where there's still a whining, and even like my 25 horse, there is a very, very much deeper whining. It's a bigger CC, it's a bigger motor overall. But the 4th gen Merc, my favorite Mercury ever, the 20 horse 4th gen Merc, you know, they chewed away the motor mounts, made the motor super light. You know, the Yamaha F25, my favorite 25 horse power outboard ever, you know, they chewed away the motor mounts, made it super light. Both motors flex when you pull, when you torque max wide open throttle at the whole shot, they both torque in. I mean, the pin literally resets when they're like that. They go this, there, because the motor mounts are so light. And obviously when they're going in, you hear them going and spooling up to get on plane. There's a rattling inside the cowl. You feel like something's loose in both of them. From the 15 to 25 horsepower 4th gen Mercs to the Yamaha F20 and 25s, they do the same thing, but just one's a bigger CC, one has a little bit deeper, throatier sound than the other CC. I told you, I kind of alluded that I thought that's what the case was, just because of how similar they were, and just doing these things and testing them out and noticing similarities, obviously working, then editing, listening, using them. I think maybe the only outboard company that probably is really legitimate in terms of making all their outboards from the ground up is maybe Suzuki. I think they actually have no say. I think there's different, like very noticeable differences, like running timing chains instead of belts, and other things going on in there where they truly are like outside of the realm Suzuki. I think you don't know. I would really like to try Suzuki. I would love to try one of their motors. I saw their Suzuki 25 and their 30 horse portable short shaft and long shaft motors, but I don't even know where to get one. I don't know if I could get one out here. I don't know if there's actually a serviceable dealer out here. I did try to reach out to one of their reps to see if I could work something there, or they kind of just ghosted me, so yeah, I don't know. Whatever, what can you do? Anyways, guys, I'll talk to you later. Hope you thought this is a fun video for me. It's fun for us, so let us know what you think.